Assassin snails, or killer snails if you prefer that name. Definitely the coolest name in our hobby. But is this name really true? Are those little guys really killers? And killers of what? Will they harm your shrimp or fish? Or maybe even you? How to care for them and what you should know about those creatures before getting them? I will answer all your questions one by one. The scientific name for those little hunters are Anentome helena or Clea helena. And personally, I think that they are one of the best looking freshwater snails in fish keeping hobby. They grow up to 3 cm in length and have cone-shaped shells with beautiful brown and yellow stripes that make them look a little bit like bumblebees. And their interesting look is one of many reasons why they are recently become quite popular in aquarium hobby. Speaking of aquariums, let's talk about their living requirements. Because of their small size, they don't require lots of space, and single snail can be kept in small 8-liter nanocube. For example, something like this would be perfect. They have one very specific requirement when it comes to how the tank should be set up. They really prefer sand or fine substrate at the bottom of the tank. They are quite nocturnal, and during the day they like to bury themselves under the substrate. But we will get back to that later. Regarding water parameters, they are not very picky. Like most snails, they don't like very soft or acidic water. They prefer pH between 7.2 and 8 and moderate to hard GH levels. Temperature can be anything between 20 and 27 degrees Celsius. They are sensitive to high levels of ammonia and nitrate, so put them only in well-established tanks. And try to avoid sudden changes in water parameters. And just like many other snails, they are sensitive to heavy metal contamination, especially copper, so be careful with any medications, fertilizers and other chemicals. Assassin snails can be kept with peaceful community fish. They will not bother any healthy fish that are free swimming, no matter the size. The only fish that you should be careful about are the big aggressive ones that could treat snails as food source, for example pufferfish or loaches. Now let's talk about their diet. First of all, if you count on them fighting off algae, just go for different types of snails. Assassin snails are not algae eaters, and you shouldn't treat them as part of your cleanup crew. For algae eating replacement, I would suggest Cliton corona. Same size, similar looks, and great at cleaning algae. Assassin snails are carnivores, and their name is not misleading. They will hunt and eat other snails. This is actually their main source of food in many cases. So you have to be careful with keeping other types of snails in the same tank. In fact, they are so good at hunting them that they are often used as a solution for pest snails invasions. So if you have a problem with too many unwanted snails in your tank, assassin snails can help to reduce their population. It doesn't mean that every single snail in your tank will be killed. And some people even keep them with helmet, apple or onion snails. And it's true that assassin snails mostly focus on smaller, younger victims. But I wouldn't recommend this approach personally. If you have a lot of assassin snails in your tank, they can team up and start attacking bigger snails in groups, and they will succeed in those attempts. So I personally avoid those kind of mixes and never keep any different snails with those guys. I just don't want to risk it. When it comes to shrimp, it's possible that they might prey on young shrimp, but the risk is much lower. I would say that if your assassin snails are well fed, shrimp should in general be safe. Just be aware that you might lose few shrimp babies from time to time. And fish should be safe with two small exceptions. First of all, fish that are sick or weak and are not free swimming can definitely be attacked. So if they are resting and recovering on the substrate, they might be in danger from those snails. But again, your healthy fish will be fine. And second exception, any kind of fry that is not free swimming yet would be an easy prey. So if you have any wigglers, they would be in serious danger. So absolutely keep those snails away from any breeding tanks. They might eat also some fish eggs, basically of any kinds. So keep that in mind as well. Of course, if you don't have any other snails in your tank, assassin snails still need to eat something, and they prefer high protein diet like frozen bloodworms, fish flakes, pellets. Now let's talk a bit about their behavior, because it's interesting enough to spend some time on it. I mentioned already that assassin snails are nocturnal creatures. During the day you might not see them that often, or you might see just one part. This extended siphon tube, exactly like you see here. They use that tube to easily breathe in water, but also for hunting. This is how they sense food and other snails that are passing by. As soon as potential victim is detected, they will quickly leave their hiding spot and the hunt begins. This is why having proper substrate is so important for them. Assassin snails are quite brutal and they will eat their prey alive. They chase, capture, and attack only physically. They don't use any poison or toxins of any kind. They attach themselves to their prey using their strong foot. And at this point the victim is basically powerless. Assassin will use its proboscis to enter any opening in the victim and then will tear small portions of flesh. And like I said, prey is still alive at this point. It's not paralyzed, it's not unconscious. And this is why they deserve to be called assassin snails. You guys are scary sometimes. Let's change the topic to something more cheerful. Breeding. Those snails are not hermaphrodites, like many other aquatic snails. That means that they cannot multiply themselves. In order to breed them, you will need a pair. But unlike Cleton corona snails, for example, they do breed in fresh water. And if you have a small group of them, you can expect to have some baby assassins in your tank. They just don't reproduce as quickly as pest snails and usually don't cause snail invasions. It's because they lay much less eggs and their eggs incubation period is much longer, around 6 weeks. So if you don't see any baby snails even after a few weeks, be aware that it will take some time for them to develop and even more time for them to be visible in your tank. So yes, assassin snails are very attractive and show very unique behaviors that make them super interesting to observe. They are a great addition to many tanks, but only after considerations for their nature and requirements. But if you have soft substrate, no snail-eating fish, and no other snails that you would like to keep, go for them. They are really fascinating. Let me know about your experience with assassin snails and any advice that you would like to share with others. If you liked the video, please leave a like, it really helps me out. But for now, thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one.